Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
I went online to become a private detective. It was a private detective school online, and I paid online. And I never heard from them again. I thought to myself, I either got ripped off, or this is my first case. This is a journalistic podcast, Shannon. We vaccinate our listeners with answers. And I'm going to keep lip-syncing the important questions until TikTok gives me a show. Shannon, how can the moon landing be real if the moon itself is fake?
That's not true, Mike.
Oh, isn't it true, Shannon? You're fake. You're a hologram.
1 in 5 New Yorkers are food insecure. What's your solution for that, Mike?
Fortune cookie. Because that's food and advice at the same time. Shannon, at least have the decency to backstab me, okay? You stab me in the front every time. Some fans can't watch the podcast because they're triggered by our sexuality. And message to those fans, we will leak a sex tape right into your mouth.
This is Mike Vecchione Investigates.
And you're not better than me. Welcome to another episode of Mike Vecchione Investigates, guys. You're going to thank us for tuning in today because this is a hot episode. We're coming in hot. I'm coming in off the road. I was in the South. I was in Alabama. I was in Arkansas. I was in Missouri with Nate Bargatze opening for wonderful... I'm sorry, that's a variant. Nate Bargatze, and it was an unbelievable time that we had there. I mean, it was, how many Waffle Houses can you have in one area? That's my real question to people who live down there. And it is fun to go to a Waffle House where there's a big sign on the front of the door that says, leave your gun at home. There's no need to bring your gun into the Waffle House. And you know what? I'm talking to the low-income whites from the South right now. There is no reason to bring your gun into a Waffle House. There's nothing that can kill you in a Waffle House other than cholesterol. Cholesterol is really what you should be focused on in a Waffle House, not somebody packing heat, concealed, not concealed. I don't know the difference. I'm from the North where these things are issues. You're from the South where it's a wardrobe choice, whether to put your gun on or not. It's an old joke I had from the 80s. Anyway, you guys are fantastic in the South. I really enjoyed performing for you, and I know you guys love Nate, and Dustin Chafin was also on the shows, so it was great being down there, and the South is a wonderful, wonderful place, and I enjoyed it, and that's not being sarcastic. That's being very, very real. The South is overlooked a lot in this country, and it shouldn't be. So many people are focused on New York, LA, New York, coastal elites. And I find if you talk to Southern people like a coastal elite, that they respect you more. And if you come with an attitude like, I need to teach you, they fall into line and they respect it. And I love that about you guys. So thank you for joining us. If you're joining us for the first time, it's a wild ride because we get into it. And I have Shannon, as always, here and behind the glass. Natalie took one of her 17 Gen Z vacations that are promised from Gas Digital now. Gen Zs now take more holidays than Jewish people. So she's in Ireland trying to find herself, I guess, is what the Gen Zs do. I need to find myself. What's my value? What is my dream job? Who am I? You know what I mean? They're all this existential angst when it's like, you know what? You got to show up every day. You gotta bring your lunch pail, which is something we used to have back in the day before we had Chipotle. You'd have to bring your lunch pail and you'd have to just dig in and get to work. And that's what Shannon does every day. She's from another generation. That's what I do every day. I'm from either even older generation. And our next guest is kind of in between us. He shaves his head, not for racist reasons. There are non-racist reasons to shave your head, I've learned from being on the road with him, and one of them is that you're losing your hair anyway. It has nothing to do with hating another race. It has to do with the fact that your hair is growing in different patches, and you can't afford a trip to Turkey to get the centrifuge thing that's really cheap there. So you shave your head. It is by no means a racial statement. And there are non-racial skinheads also. There's racial skinheads and there's non-racial skinheads. And the non-racial skinheads we just call bald. But it's insulting to call somebody bald. It's more empowering to call them a non-racial skinhead. I learned that. So let me bring fellow investigator. I keep having him in. He's not even a guest anymore. He's special, they talk in the paper about appointing special prosecutors. We're appointing a special investigator. He's hilarious. He's funny. He's witty. And he's also very, very smart. He has a hawk-like attitude on some of these investigations that we're doing. That's why we brought him in as a special investigator. Anthony Zenhauser is here, everybody. Anthony, welcome.
Hey, what's going on, Mike?
What a nice, God, that's such an uplifting vibe that you brought.
I'm a little tired from that monologue. I think it went a little too long.
It went too long? Our fans expect it from
I think you were
from me.
monologuing, to be honest with you.
I was mansplaining it. Was I mansplaining it?
I don't know, because I'm a man, so it sounded right to me.
It sounded right.
It sounded like you were normally explaining something, because I'm a man.
Shannon, was I mansplaining there? That's an actual thing that women are complaining about. Men who think they know everything, which in many cases they do. They are astronauts. They're the majority of the astronauts in this country. So they know a lot of stuff. And I'm wondering if that's what it sounded like to you. Anthony brings in a great point from a bald perspective.
I would say that I wasn't triggered by anything.
That's a word also that we're using now on this show because we're very sensitive. Who knows? We could have driven Natalie away to Ireland because we're being unconsciously insensitive. Go ahead, Shannon. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off by knowing more.
Well, I was going to say until you said men know everything, and then I was a little triggered.
You were triggered by that. Okay, because you don't like that. But what if a man says he knows everything as he's paying the check?
I can look past it.
Okay. Thank you, Shannon. You know where your bread is buttered. And bread is not something we celebrate on this show. This is a low-carb show. We've emphasized that many times. And if it seems like one issue is running into another issue, that's your slow brain not being able to keep up with our fast brains. So do you understand that? You're low income and you have a slow brain, and that's not your fault. But we're going to try to get you up to speed. But stop complaining about it. Anthony, that's a great point. Mansplaining and also talking down to lower income whites and to people who are delayed intellectually.
Yeah, well, I'm a big...
You're a big advocate?
Guy. No, I'm a big guy. Mm-hmm. But I'm also an advocate of that as well.
Right.
Talking down to low income whites.
Right.
I mean, who's going to tell them how to live their life?
Who's going to teach them?
They had an opportunity to live their life properly, and they didn't make do with it.
Right.
So you're here.
I'm here to teach.
To help them. To
help. To aid them. To mansplain.
Yeah.
To upper crust mansplain them.
It's very important that you went down to the South.
Yeah, I did. I had to go. I felt like it was a calling. Also, it was nice enough for Nate to book me there, but also I felt like it was my calling to go down there and explain to these grit-eating, low-income whites what's what from the North, from the elitist areas of the country. We're elitist. Do you feel elite?
Yeah, all the time. Mm-hmm. All the time. It might be a false sense of elitism, but I feel 92% of the time I feel more elite.
And where's the 8%? At the bowling alleys or?
Yeah, mostly. Yeah, working at the bowling alley, spraying the shoes. They have me spraying the shoes now.
Spraying the shoes. Yeah, and what's the chemical that?
Urine mostly.
They spray.
No, they don't want me to do it. Yeah. But I've been fired from 15 bowling alleys in the past 2 weeks. But they keep. I don't know, for some reason they don't reference check.
If this was a clip, Anthony, it would be Shannon, and this is a note maybe. The dark side of. No, please don't interrupt me. That's mansplaining.
I'm helping you.
That's mansplaining.
I thought I was your
You're gaslighting me because you're saying that it's helping me, but it's not helping me. It's interrupting me from me speaking my truth.
Okay, well, go ahead.
If that was going to be a clip, Shannon, now that we've lost it completely, Anthony spraying urine on the shoes, we would call it the dark side of bowling alleys. Oh, God, that would get a lot of clicks. Because people go bowling and they want to know, bowling is all fun. It's all upside. But if you were to put a video on there that said the dark side of bowling alleys, people would click on there to see what they were getting into. Right. And the fact that vagrant, like yourself, is spraying urine into the shoes, God, that
I'm
would
not
just-
a vagrant. I mean, I do.
But that's a vagrant act.
I do live near a house.
It doesn't matter if you live near a house. What you're doing is it doesn't matter where you live. You could live on the street. What's the Will Smith movie where he lived in bathrooms and then he became successful?
Pursuit of Happiness.
Pursuit of Happiness. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. Thank you, Shannon. Shannon, you're right on. You're in lockstep with me. I don't have to mansplain anything to you because you might actually be a man that you know so much. I've upgraded you. I'm sorry, Shannon.
Thank you.
Anyway, Anthony, he lived in bathrooms, but what he didn't do was go to bowling alleys, apply for a job, get the job, and then spray urine into people's shoes.
Well, you didn't see maybe if the movie went on a little bit longer, maybe he would have done that.
Are you saying there's another cut where he does that?
No, I'm saying that maybe there would have been that situation if he didn't get that great job at the end of the movie. Maybe if there was another 20 minutes between that and getting the great job, they were like, hey, you want to work in a bowling alley? And he was like, yeah, that sounds great. And then he urinates into the shoes because he's mad at Whitey.
He's mad but black people can also bowl.
Which is also part of the dark side of the bowling.
It's a white supremacy?
Yeah.
Black ball knocking down white pins?
Right.
There's something there, Anthony. I'm not sure what it is.
We're
I would just sketch it
workshopping
out.
it.
We have to workshop it and sketch it out. And I'm
people
doing a
were-
fake sketch right now so that it's believable to our fans that we're actually doing work. I fake sketched, and I bought a newspaper today. I'll go right, and I bought a Dunkin' Donuts. And Shannon was like, "Oh, you're bringing," because she does the articles, and the coffee is here, and it's like I'm bringing an outside perspective in Dunkin' Donuts and deli newspaper, just so I make sure that I'm not being influenced by the gas digital brass.
Right. It makes you look smarter. Like rather if you came in with like a big salami under your arm, in a wife beater, which people kind of, that's how they see you generally. But because you brought the newspaper in and the coffee, you're saying to the fans, hey,
I'm one of you.
I'm reading.
I'm a normal one of you.
Yeah.
I have the newspaper. I have my coffee, just like you do in the morning.
Yeah. I'm
You
sure
know?
most of those people are readers, your fans.
They look at the pictures.
Yeah.
And most of the New York Post is pictures.
Sunday's a big day. That's where the comics come. Mm-hmm. You get a big one. And you get more for your buck, too. I think it's like another 50 cents, but you get another 3 pounds of paper.
Well, our fans know. Our fans know, and I feel like you're talking down to them now, too, which is good because they need to be uplifted.
This is what the show is about.
That's what the show is about. The show is about investigations and talking down to people.
I agree.
And also lifting them up. You have to break them down. It's like every movie where you break somebody down, like you can't do it, and then you lift them up,
Right?
And they're in tears, and they achieve it, and then everybody wins in the end,
Right?
It's a big celebration.
You get the job at the end of the movie.
Yeah, you get the job at
live
the
your
end of
life
the movie
with your son, and you don't have to piss in shoes. You don't have to. I didn't have to urinate in those shoes.
Yes,
what I'm saying
but you
is,
did it anyway.
I did it because
of bitterness.
No, I didn't.
Because you hated the fact that you had
Because
to work
it's
at a bowling alley
fun.
because you're low income.
It's fun to urinate in people's
You're
shoes.
saying it's fun, but I think if we unravel it more,
Mm-hmm.
there's bitterness at the bottom of it. Do you think?
We can look at that on the next episode.
We have looked at it, and you're just taking for granted that you're going to be back for another episode. You have to earn it, Anthony.
Oh, you said I'm part of the show. He just did not. I mean, you said I'm the investigator.
You're a special investigator. You've been appointed a special investigator, which is a big thing that's going on in the world right now.
So you're not
We're
treating me
appointing-
very special right now.
No,
to be
I
honest
am, but
with
I have
you.
to be hard on you. I'll get more out of you that way. I've read a management book.
This
and it
has
says
become
that.
very homoerotic all of a sudden.
No, you're taking it sexual.
Yeah.
You're taking it very sexual. I think that you came in and you felt the sexual vibes between me and Shannon, and you're like, I want part of this. I want part of this. I'm like, not today, buddy. It's not a three-way.
No. I know. Well,
Okay. I don't care if Shannon does look like a stepmom who just got out of the shower. And I look like an ex-husband who's coming in, and we shouldn't be together. And then you're the plumber. And yes, it has that built-in vibe.
When was the last time you watched a porno? That has never happened.
Yes, it has.
An ex-husband has never come in while the plumber was there.
Well, these stepmoms are out of control, Anthony. They're out of control. I don't know what you're watching, but the stepmoms and the stepdaughters and the stepsons, the whole blended family community is on trial in the pornography field, and I won't subscribe to it. And the fact that I come in here and I'm strapping and Shannon's like just out of the shower and then you're coming in to fix pipes, it has sexual vibes to it. But God, come on. We're trying to do an investigatory show. We can't be derailed by that. Like so many of you are. When you're on your internet, oh, I got to do work. Oh, I got to do work. Oh, a stepmom is in trouble. A stepmom is in trouble. Let me go see. Oh, 4 hours later. You take a nap afterwards. How am I going to get that back now?
I'll give it back to you when you deserve it. You think you need a little bit of a timeout and just realize that that's not a porn scenario, okay? Shannon's coming out of the shower. She's dripping wet, a little steamy in the room. Her stepson comes home from college unexpectedly. The dad is always working. I mean, that's why she's lonely. Because the father's only working. Shannon goes, Shannon, can you help us in this scenario, please? Is there maybe a little bit of dialogue you can throw
Shannon?
in? Like,
can you do it slowly?
Like, hey, stepmom, I didn't see you there.
What?
Exactly. Well, I'm confused as well. I didn't know why are you standing here naked in my room while I'm hard in a sock. It doesn't make any sense.
And Anthony, can I have my pen back?
Yeah, okay.
Can you throw it to me?
I can throw it to you, but I won't. I'll place it next to you closely, and then
it's not
push
making
it.
its way.
There's
not making its way
it's
over
very
here.
inert.
So this is kind of a parallel for what's happening on the show.
That was a good catch, Mike.
Yeah,
Thank you very much,
We're going
Shannon.
nowhere fast. Absolutely. Maybe it's time to
Anthony,
shift gears here a little bit.
No, it's not time to shift gears. We need to stay on the investigation of why people are derailed by porn sites. And because of our sexuality, you were triggered because you came in. Shannon's a stepmom or stepdaughter. Shannon looks very young still. And I could be a stepson. And you're the plumber. You're always a blue collar job that has to.
No, I was a little derailed because when I walked in,
because there's a train strike.
When I walked, is there really?
Mm-hmm.
No, I just took the train. When you, that was good. I deserve that.
The whole thing is good. I mean,
No,
are you
that
going to
part
tell our
was
fan
good.
that? Are you going to tell our fans this is not worthwhile and not good?
They know.
No, they know everything. They know everything they need to know.
It's not necessary to let them know that this is not worth it. I walked into the office and you guys were talking about me.
Yeah.
About how I'm the last. Can you replace him at the last minute?
How to best utilize
How do I
your
get rid of
talents?
Zenhauser right before the show? I didn't know he would actually be here on time. And then she started spraying the room with some sort of body spray or deodorant.
Yeah.
Because apparently that's how I'm treated when I'm here.
That's so crazy. I didn't know what deodorant was, actually.
I do know what it is.
You have some on? Or are you like a
That's
Brad
a
Pitt? Because you have a
personal-
vegetarian
that's a
hat
personal
on. You
question.
have a vegetarian hat on.
Do I?
Maybe you do a Brad Pitt thing where he doesn't wear deodorant because of the lead that poisons whatever the Hollywood
Aluminum.
reason. Huh?
It's aluminum.
Aluminum.
No,
I was close.
I'm a big
I was
proponent
close.
of aluminum, so I wear it and then I recycle it because that's
Shannon. Anthony is making an accusation, and we have to get this internal stuff out before we do these investigations. Does Anthony smell?
I don't believe that to be the case.
I don't believe it to be true.
Well,
either.
that's not necessarily a no.
I don't know who the culprit is,
Yeah.
but there was an aroma in the air in here.
Aroma indicates that it's pleasant.
Oh,
A stench?
That's actually the name of the restaurant I'll be performing at this weekend.
Aroma?
there was just this smell I didn't like in here, and it wasn't airing out, so I just sprayed a little bit of perfume into the air.
Right.
It didn't help though, because I
No.
still smell it.
Now it sounds like a sexy
Oh, you can
stench.
still smell it, so maybe it's not. Maybe it wasn't me.
No.
Maybe not Shannon.
I never accused you.
You're
of
a
smelling.
suspect.
well,
though.
you definitely it was definitely implied.
You're suspicious. You're under suspicion of smelling bad.
Right.
You also
And I hope you're fine with that.
you
We have
just
to do a full investigation.
you just happened to walk in as I was spraying it. It was bad timing.
Okay.
Like you also happened to walk in when Mike and I were having a discussion and just happened to mention your name. You just walked in at the wrong time.
I see.
Yeah.
I see how it is. Okay.
You walked in at the wrong time.
Right.
Or the right time. the exact right time.
It's always the wrong time for the guest, but it's always the right time for you. I get it. I understand.
You're not
how
a guest.
this
You're a
works.
special investigator.
Well, I'm still
I
waiting
can't-
for that special investigation courtesy, okay? If I'm allowed to speak while you're speaking, it'll be a better show. If we're both talking at the same time, they get double the show. Maybe you don't know how these things work.
They can't figure it out when one person is speaking. One person has to speak. They have to speak slow, and they have to speak in small words.
You have a lot of new fans now because you were down south.
I was in the South trying to get new fans for the show, Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to all the Waffle Houses.
Right. And
I would not stop.
And you were hoping that they would have TVs and computers to watch the show
computers, maybe they have computers.
on. I wouldn't presume.
I don't
okay?
know.
Maybe you don't know how the real America works.
I
because
actually do.
You're a pampered coastal.
I am
and
a
you don't know
coastal
how it
elite, but I
works.
make an effort to go out and talk to the low incomes and to meet with them and to press flesh.
Did you shake any hands?
I didn't I fist pound now because of the diseases, the variants and the Omicrons and lupus. I think you can catch lupus that way.
Mostly from low income people. Mm-hmm. I don't think they wash their hands that much.
I don't think they do either.
Yeah, I've
And
heard.
it's very suspicious that the Waffle House bathrooms are not very nice.
Right, but that's where they make the waffles, though.
Probably.
That's what I heard. That's why there's so many fights.
I saw no indication of fights at the Waffle House. It was pleasantries going back and forth.
Well, when you go to sleep at 8 o'clock in the afternoon, in the evening, you're not going to see any fights. When you get older, when you get to be your age and you get tired and sleepy around 8:30, you're gonna go home and not stay around for the 2 a.m. waffle fights. So it's good for you.
I think there's security at these Waffle Houses at 2 a.m., Anthony. Okay? Maybe a local sheriff there making sure that the four-wheel people who go there after a monster truck outing don't fight each other. Right. I think that you're not giving the Waffle House crowd enough credit.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
We will see. We will see, because Waffle Houses are a big part of my life now. That I've down there and
Americana.
experienced it, and it's like better than a diner. It's the people are very, very sweet, very, very nice. They
That's because
check on
they're
you.
covered in syrup.
They pretty hot. And they always check on you. Do you need more of this? Do you need more of that? It's like my meat lover's omelet was delicious.
Yeah, you ordered a meat lover's
meat
omelet at a
lover's
Waffle House.
omelet at
I'm
the
sure you
Waffle
were.
House.
I'm sure you were a big hit over there.
They don't hold it against you if you don't order waffles. That's what you were getting at, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They don't hold it against you. They see my body. They know that I can't take carbs, that I need to be lean and sexy, and they understand that I'm on a carnivore diet, but I will eat home fries.
Hank, the big city boy wants a protein omelet, and he doesn't want to try your special waffles that you're famous for because he's too good for the waffles.
That's what I get up and say. I'm too
The
good for the
pecan
I say I'm
waffle.
too good.
Yeah.
I say I'm too good. I'm a coastal elite. Make my breakfast, I yell.
Yeah.
And I did have a waffle though at the end of the meal as a dessert because I wanted to taste it. I wanted to taste.
They smell so good.
Taste the sunshine.
Yeah.
This smoke break is brought to you by YoDelta.com, the official Getting High sponsor of the Gas Digital Network.
I got to bring this up. This wasn't on the agenda, and I screamed at Shannon about this. Hunter Biden. I don't want to get into the whole politics of Twitter, what's going on, but they keep showing this picture of him. And if we could put it up, Shannon, a picture of Hunter Biden. He's like not shaved. He has a cigarette in his mouth. He has his shirt off. And there's all this stuff about like he colluded with China while his father was vice president in order to gain influence, to get money, something other, violation of constitutional misuse of power. And I get all that. Thank you, Shannon. I get all that. But is everybody missing the point that this guy looks like a lot of fun? Is everybody just missing that? Because he looks like he could party. He looks like he could get it in. He looks like a guy. I see him at a party. I go, dog, it's for real now. And then we go after it and we get after it at the party. And there's a mosh pit. That looks like a guy who just came from a mosh pit and he's soaking in a tub right now, Epsom salts. And it's just like getting his body back rejuvenated so he could get back into a mosh pit.
That guy might have made your waffles.
Yeah, he probably could have. You throw a hat on him and some overalls.
Maybe an apron. Mm-hmm. But he definitely looks like.
I think everybody who made my waffles was ex-con.
Yeah.
I think that because they had ankle bracelets. But that's why you don't judge people, okay? If you have assault and battery, that probably means you can make a better waffle. I don't trust anybody who's gone through their life without going to jail once or twice making my breakfast at a Waffle House. Can I be honest with you?
All those people have to be coming in from God knows where. They don't know where they come from.
Yeah.
They just, all of a sudden, they have a job at the Waffle House. Waffle Houses don't ask questions.
No. And I love that about the Waffle House. It's
Makes it
kind of
taste
like outside
better.
It does. Because these people are dangerous, right? They've committed crimes. They've done their time. They're probably living at a halfway house. And they've got out. They've got the ankle bracelet. And it's like they make great food. It's extra greasy. It's extra dangerous.
Yeah, and it's got that sweet taste of freedom.
Oh, my God. Yes.
really
They're so
does.
happy to be out that they know how to cook a meat lover's omelet.
Some of them probably didn't even finish their sentence. I mean, I'm sure some of them might have, broke out of prison, escaped. And now they're on the lamb, which is funny because lamb isn't on the menu.
It's not on the menu. That's too high end. That's a very New York thing.
It's a little more like halal.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more Eastern Asia.
Right. They'll do everything with pork, though.
Right. Pork.
Everything with pork.
Right.
And the skillets are really a big thing now at the Waffle House. So if you go to the Waffle House and you first of all, don't order pancakes at a Waffle House because they look at you like, come on, dude.
Right.
What do you think this is? It's not a pancake house. I wonder if the pancake houses and the Waffle Houses have a
like an East Coast, West Coast thing?
Yeah, like they're after each other. They're like, oh my God, you're not going to come in here with your pancake,
It could be. God. It could be.
Probably.
I mean, if they could, if there could be like some sort of a rap battle, but instead with pancakes and waffles.
That's a cooking show.
Yeah.
Waffle House versus Pancake House.
Yeah.
Because these pancake people think they're better than the waffle people.
Do they, though?
I think they do. I think that they think that they're more upscale than waffle people. Nothing beats waffle people.
I think
waffle people are
people
straight out of jail. Waffle people don't care, man. They cook and they're in it. They're living in it. I watch them. And you know what I love also about the Waffle House? There's no kitchen. They're cooking right in front of you.
Right, like hibachi.
Like hibachi, except like for low-income whites.
Except you don't want to catch. If they throw something, you don't catch it.
If they throw something, it's hepatitis.
Right. That took a little too long.
Well,
but
thank
I'm glad
God that it
there.
came because I would have been sitting out there. There would have been a lot of egg on my face. And I'm not just saying that because we're mostly focused on breakfast.
But I mean, I feel like that Waffle House employees are a little bit more. I feel like they feel like they're a little bit more sophisticated than pancake people because at a Waffle House they're like, hey, look at this hexagon, motherfucker. I just made what you made, but I got crazy shapes.
I don't know. I think that the pancake people
pancakes only come out. They only come out circle.
I know, but you're thinking about the actual thing. I think of the ambiance of a pancake house. Pancake house is like we're almost a diner. They almost have that attitude like we're almost a diner.
Right.
And it's like Waffle Houses make no mistake like that. They know who they are.
That's the last stop a family makes to a battered shelter.
A Waffle House?
A Waffle House, right. Like, all right, kids, we got to get away from Dad, but first...
Enjoy.
Who's hungry?
Right.
Right.
Well, I mean, the staff is just coming out of jail. I think that they should just have glass up where they serve because then it could be like a visitation.
Like a fried chicken place.
Oh yeah, the fried chicken places.
Fried chicken places always have bulletproof glass.
Bulletproof glass over there.
See, we're really breaking down the differences between these late night eateries. You have the pancake places, you have the waffle places, and you have the chicken and waffle places.
The chicken and waffle places I've never been to in the South. I'm talking about the South. The chicken and waffle places I've never.
How do you feel about that? Fried chicken and a waffle together on the same plate?
I think that it's first of all, it's a cardiovascular nightmare. I'll just be honest because everybody's like, "There's no downside."
You shouldn't use big words
There's
like that
no
in the
downside.
South. Though.
Cardiovascular nightmare.
Don't say that.
Chicken and waffle. You can eat healthy at a Waffle House, by the way.
Just say it ain't Jesus. If you say it ain't Jesus, they'll take the chicken off the plate. You can eat healthy, can't you?
You can eat healthy at a Waffle House.
Like a meat lover's omelet, that's great for your arteries.
Meat lovers, but there's
sure.
no vegetable. I look for a salad up and down that menu. Mm-hmm. There's nothing. There's no kind of roughage or anything to keep you have to keep your system moving with coffee. That's the only, and it's good coffee.
Right.
It's gritty.
There's a romaine, but that's your waitress.
Romaine.
Right.
It's great I love them. They're open 24 hours, and also they judge hurricanes by when the Waffle House is closed. If a Waffle House is closed, that means that there's a big hurricane coming.
Right.
Because Waffle Houses never close.
So if it's a little hurricane, they'll stay open, you mean?
Yes. If it's just a tropical storm, they're like, we're not closing for this. And if it's like a category whatever, and it's not that serious, they'll like not close. And only when the Waffle House is closed, because some of them haven't been closed in years and years. And probably COVID changed that.
Probably.
But it's not, that was because the state came in. They would have never decided to close on their own.
Yeah, they think
would
they're
have
supposed to.
muscled through.
They have to.
Yeah.
The government has to shut them down. They don't make that conscious decision.
No.
Hey, maybe we should shut down because there's a category 4. That's a big one.
But wouldn't it be
Tropical
great if
storm
I
coming.
think they do this probably, they have another Waffle House in the basement in case
Right.
that happens so that they can continue making waffles for people.
Like a speakeasy.
Yes.
Like
Speakeasy.
what's the password? Cardiovascular problems.
Cardiovascular or wins. Let's go. But do you agree with me that Hunter Biden, let's get back to Hunter Biden. He looks like a lot of fun, and people just miss that. All the headlines about Hunter Biden are that he is nefarious and he used his father's influence to get money. But look at that. I mean, right in the face of the Surgeon General, where it's like, I am smoking. This is a Lucy. It's a Lucy cigarette.
You know, there's a little Hunter Biden in all of us.
I think there
feel.
is too. A little Hunter Biden in all of us.
There has to be. You have to be able to channel your inner Hunter, and sometimes let go, let loose,
right.
get crazy. You know, because it gets a little stuffy in the White House. You're walking
Yeah.
around, you got papers. You're always in a suit,
Right.
and then all of a sudden, here comes Johnny Party,
Yeah.
hanging out with his Marlboro hanging out of his mouth, and he's just like, "Lighten up, dude.
That guy seems like a lot of fun.
It's not a big deal.
That guy just seems like a lot of fun.
It was only $40 billion.
Yeah, and no one ever mentions that. If you go to a party, he's got it. He's got all of the
diseases, venereal diseases.
that too, but he's got money, and you don't have to like bring something. You know, it's annoying when you go to a party and they're like, can you bring something?
Yeah.
It's like you don't need to do that
It's
at his parties.
It's annoying to have common courtesy. Absolutely.
No, that is common courtesy, but it's a fact that I can't afford this, and Hunter can't afford it because his dad, because they had illicit deals.
So is that when you come to a party, you go, I was going to bring you something, but I just couldn't afford it.
I was going to bring you something, but then I thought, with all the headlines, your dad has illicit deals and you have millions of dollars from these illicit deals. So now I don't have to bring a crumb cake because
Right.
I figure you have access to all that because you're a baller. He looks like a baller.
Definitely looks like he's got a crumb cake.
Let's look at let's just freestyle it right now.
Oh, okay.
Because Shannon has an agenda and she does a great job. She's working for all of us. And but I bought the paper today, and I want our fans to know that because
Doesn't that come out of your budget, though?
it comes out of my budget. I write it off, though.
From the...
I write it off.
Wait, the show doesn't pay for your paper?
No, I put it on my own credit card.
Oh,
and
that's
yes, I do pay
interesting.
for it with a credit card because I'm fiscally responsible. Oh, this one hits home. Protestors poisoned. Mass sickened in Iran. And I feel like a kinship with this headline because sometimes I feel like I'm being poisoned in the Gas Digital Network. Not by Shannon, who I trust completely, but sometimes like an Andrea will pop in and offer to make a coffee, and she has military experience, and she might be with Blackwater and might want to be shutting down this podcast. So I don't know where the coffee's coming from. I don't know what of the drug addicts who work here at Gas Digital are doing to the coffee sometimes. So I have to be sure. So protester poisoned in Iran really hits home for me.
Right. Blackwater, which is what most people call coffee, is that's what that is.
I like it.
It's not usually poisoned here, though, I got to say.
Well, I don't know that specifically. I don't know that.
There's a lot of talking behind your back when you come in.
I'm sure there is.
There's a lot of whispering.
I'm sure there is. But you know what? I keep my head down and I keep in line with excellence.
Maybe you should try talking to them and maybe trying to
No,
make
I
friends
don't
here.
want to talk to them. I don't want to talk
Instead
to them.
of constantly, I constantly seeing you pointing at people and spurting accusations.
Because they're on fentanyl. A group of 1,200 university students in Iran were struck down by food poisoning the night before a wave of anti-regime protesters were set to be held throughout the country. Food poisoning is the worst, Anthony.
I know.
Because it's like we all love food, and we all love them. I'll tell you one, you'll never get poisoned. A Waffle House. You'll never get poisoned at a Waffle House. Actually, a Waffle House makes the food extra greasy and extra difficult for your immune system so that it toughens you. It's like a vaccination.
Right.
Going to a Waffle House.
You're
So that when somebody
inoculated.
does try to poison you, your system is so calloused from the food at the Waffle House that it doesn't even acknowledge the poison. Your
Okay.
thoughts?
Mile, I feel that that's a gross accusation.
You're a gross accusation.
And I feel like that a lot of people get poisoned at Waffle Houses all the time.
You're going to take... are you secretly working for a pancake house?
No, I'm just saying there were...
No, because it seems like everything I say about a Waffle House, you have something negative to say about it, and I want to know: are you secretly working for Big Pancake?
Listen, I don't intern here, so take that tone down a little bit.
You're a
okay?
special investigator.
Somebody might poison.
You're a special
somebody might
investigator.
poison your newspaper after that. I feel like there was a lot of protesting going on during the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
Back in the 60s.
Yeah.
And that stopped. That stopped really abruptly. And I think that's due to a lot of the poisoning that was going on in the Waffle Houses after the protests. That's my hypothesis, and I have journals written about it. Not at any sort of schools of
Journals or manifestos?
not in any like prestigious schools, but like at the DeVry Institute, they published it.
DeVry's a good school.
It is. If you want to become a plumber and fix Shannon's pipes, you should go there, and they will publish your journals.
I'm sure they will. That's a lot of people who go to Waffle Houses also have been students at DeVry.
Right.
Students at Karamazzi and Art universities experienced vomiting, severe body aches, and hallucinogens. The National Student Union claimed
Sounds like
Thursday.
the interns at Gas Digital.
Yeah, without food poisoning. At least 4 other universities reported similar outbreaks. Unaffected students are reportedly boycotting the cafeterias in response. See, this is a shift because they're protesting the government, then they get food poisoning, now they're protesting the cafeterias. They're not protesting the government anymore. They've shifted the blame to the cafeterias. This is genius.
Yeah. Well, that's
We
what they
could learn
do.
from Iran.
They do that in North Korea. They keep the people starving so they don't protest against the government because you can't think of anything
Right.
when you're hungry.
Yes.
All you're thinking of is that next meal.
I know about it because I do intermittent fasting. So all I'm thinking about is the next meal.
Right.
All I'm thinking about it. I don't think about my mother. I don't think about Shannon or what goes on here. I'm thinking about a roast pork, broccoli rabe, sharp proby.
Right.
And we went to Tony Luke's the last time we were on the road. And don't act like we didn't.
We did, and I was shocked.
While officials are citing a waterborne bacteria as the cause. Oh, blame the water. That's another shift in responsibility. Oh, it's not the food, it's the water.
Well, that's what you need to make food, though. Sometimes.
Waterborne bacteria. That's water that was born. It's it's bacteria that was hatched in water.
So it's like an omelet.
I guess you would have to boil the water in order to kill the bacteria. But isn't there also good bacteria that kills bad bacteria? You have to separate which bacteria is which.
There is good bacteria that is in your stomach.
Right.
Probiotic.
Probiotic.
Right. And those guys get paid. So probiotic.
And they get paid. And while officials are citing waterborne bacteria as the cause of troubling symptoms, the Students' Union posted that the population was intentionally poisoned. How can you tell if someone's intentionally poisoned? I mean, you poison people with your thoughts all the time.
Yes.
Our past experiences of similar incidents in the university negates the authorities' reasons for this mass food poisoning.
Now they're saying they're denying it. Is that what they're doing?
They're blaming the cafeteria. The cafeteria is blaming the water. It just seems like a shell game here.
It just seems like a little weird considering that all the cafeterias had the same problem. So you're saying that all the cafeterias were conspiring?
Yeah, they're in on it. The morality police were established in 2006 to enforce the country's strict dress code for women. Shannon, your
Thank
thoughts?
God.
Should women have a dress code?
No.
Should women have thoughts?
Yes.
Okay. I don't agree with that, but
What if you were forced to dress sexy all the time, Shannon? What if I turned their policy and it's like ball gowns and high heels all the time now?
ball gowns are sexy.
Ball gowns and high heels, Shannon. And if I switched their policy into elegant formal wear and you had to wear long gloves the entire time, would you like that more?
Well, that's kind of like working at a bar where they're like, you can't like look like a frump.
Frump.
Yeah, when you're
No,
working at a
that's
bar.
not. You can look like a frump if you want to come home with $5 in your pocket.
Not at like a nightclub though. Like they won't have you come back if you're like, because they want you to represent their club and be like sexy.
Yeah.
Any bartender who doesn't show their cleavage or breasts is just, it's self-destroying their whole night of not making tips. You're just sabotaging yourself. Take your tits out and show them to make money. That's how it works. I mean, it's an unwritten rule. You don't have to, frumpy.
Right.
You can go there and you can just have an empty jar and go
Right, but how
home.
about you just look classy and pretty and you don't have to do the vulgar
So
things
wear
that you're
gloves.
saying to
Wear
do, which is
gloves.
probably prevalent at the bowling alleys that you work at.
You think so?
No, I'll speak for women.
No,
I'll
will you?
speak for women
Are you gonna
against your take it out, whip it out. You
Mansplain.
exclaim.
Mansplain that. I'm just trying to help Shannon
Are
on
you
her
trying to
bartending.
help
If
Shannon?
she decides to become a bartender again,
Shannon knows what she's doing, and she doesn't need the money.
not now, but wait until you get the ratings on this show. Do you guys have
We
ratings?
don't do
here?
good numbers, but we're coming up in the world. We're the most underrated podcast on the network and in the United States of America, the continental United States. I don't know what's going on in Hawaii and Alaska, and I don't ask.
Yeah, good intentions.
Let's see what's going on here. Here's the Hunter Biden thing, which we already talked about.
Are we just winging it here?
No, I'm
you
I'm
have
going
any
through.
sort of-
Shannon has the itinerary for the show. Please don't question our authority here,
Because I mean,
Anthony.
you're really just flipping through newspapers.
Yeah, because that's what the people are talking about, and I have to be grassroots. I'm not high end like you. I have to go where the people want the information.
Right.
How do you know if you have COVID, RSV, or the flu? Here's the catch. It's a triple threat. After years of isolating and masking influenza, COVID-19, and respiratory, it's a big word, RSV, are all hitting harder and earlier this cold season in a phenomena that's been dubbed a triple pandemic. You don't know what you have at this point.
Yeah.
Is it the flu? Is it RSV? Which is, I don't know what that is either.
That's right before you go to a wedding. They need you to know if you're coming.
That's RSVP,
Right,
Anthony.
Right.
God, you're
Right.
so close on some of these things.
Right.
And I'm rooting for you. But you're so close, but you just miss it you missed the P.
Right.
It's
No,
RSVP.
I never did. I always got the P right where I wanted it.
Because of your bowling alley history.
Right.
In healthy adults, RSV can be no more troubling than a mild cold, but it can be quite severe for very young children and the elderly. God,
Thank
it's always
God.
these young children and the elderly that are causing our troubles.
Yeah.
I think we would be in great shape if it wasn't for... And if you're out there and you're like, I'm young and I'm elderly, then take your medicine, okay? Stop bringing down the entire country. It's a mild cold to everybody else. It's earth-shattering to you. You end up in the emergency room from this. God. And I'm talking to you, Mom. My mom's 82. I'm talking to you, too. Get it together.
We should have old people fight kids in like
Have them knock each
coliseums.
other off in a tournament-type style competition? Is that what you're saying?
I think they're both
In an octagon?
Yes. Yeah, well, hear me out. Or are you with me?
No, I'm with you.
Okay, good. I didn't know what kind of excited tone that was.
No, I'm excited for that.
Okay.
Because I think they're bringing down the country, the elderlies and the children.
I think they're equally matched at that point. You take a 5-year-old, you take an 85-year-old, and you just have them go.
Right.
And
Diaper
then-
on diaper.
Diaper on diaper. Yeah. Exactly.
How do you know if you have high fever, dehydration, which Katie Hannigan accuses me of having first thing in the morning? She can look at me and go, "You're dehydrated. You're dehydrated." I like to start the morning with accusations. You're dehydrated. It's like, am I? Runny nose. Wheezing. That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
Wheezing.
Wheezing sounds cool.
Wheezing sounds
like a
kinda cool.
band.
It does.
There should be a band named Wheezing.
That's different than Weezer. Wheezing is like...
Guys, you liked Weezer. Check this
I
out.
think wheezing is a gerund.
I think wheezing is what you do when you buy Weezer tickets.
When you're rocking out to Weezer?
Yeah. So what are you doing this weekend? I'm wheezing.
Wheezing. Shortness of breath?
I always have that.
Well, Shannon just can't stand shortness. He hates,
How tall?
short guys.
How tall is Shannon? I'm asking.
Doesn't matter.
You. I'm not
You're asking the
Shannon.
wrong questions, dude.
Or maybe I'm
How
asking.
tall is Shannon? Doesn't matter.
Maybe I'm trying to.
6'5" is the answer that you're looking for from the men that Shannon will date. Cough.
So she dates like Abraham Lincoln and who else?
Lincoln is too intellectual. She doesn't date somebody with all those nasty degrees. Lincoln had a law degree.
He had one law degree.
But he did fight bears.
He
was a wrestler, by the way.
What did he?
Yeah.
He
was
fought
a wrestler
bears?
and he fought bears, yeah.
Oh.
He was tough. Lincoln was tough. Shannon liked that, but after being shot in the head, Shannon would break up with him because he didn't defend himself enough.
True. Too skinny.
That's true.
He's too skinny
Really?
also.
You like some meat on his bones?
Yeah.
You like the... Okay.
Cough.
Duly noted.
Cough. If people are coughing, do you have a different reaction when people are coughing now? I do. I go, you're
I say stop.
Stop it.
Stop your coughing.
Nasal congestion,
Hate it.
vomiting and diarrhea, food poisoning.
Necessary.
That's food poisoning.
Right. You can't help that, though.
Yeah, because people are out to get you. It's food poisoning. We just let it go, and it's like people are out to get you. Sore throat, fatigue, body aches, loss of taste or smell.
Mm-hmm.
And they have like a chart here for. I think I'm just going to go to the New York Post for medicine. Seems like
Yeah,
they
you
have
don't
it
have to
figured
go
out.
to the...
Seems like they have it figured out.
Yeah, urgent care doesn't help you like the New York Post. And you can do it all from
Urgent
your
care
house.
doesn't help you, actually. Don't like urgent care. Bryant Sticky Fingers. Bryant Park, there's a pickpocket spree. A man and a woman pickpocket team. There's teams of pickpocketers now? Targeted at least 18 unsuspecting marks. That's what they call people.
Yeah, I know a few marks. I feel like that headline can go either way though. With the
I
term
love sticky fingers in a
'cause
headline.
I've been to Bryant Park a few times after dark, and I got to tell you, nothing but sticky fingers.
Well, I think this is a reference if we were keeping it cohesive to a Waffle House. You go to a Waffle House and then you're out of money and you have to pickpocket and you have sticky fingers from the syrup.
Right, cohesive and cohesion.
The sticky fingered pair's strategy is to bump into their victims, because that would be an accident to me, as they lift the items, including cell phones, AirPods, credit cards, Metro cards, and, in one case, a designer bag, according to the cops. Is that a good strategy? Bump into somebody and go, oh, I'm sorry, and then take... It's kind of like the food poisoning thing, where it's like, we're protesting the government, and then they food poison you, and then you protest the cafeterias.
I feel
It's a diversion. I think what I'm talking about is diversion.
right. You've never bumped into a girl like at a park. You've never like bumped into one and been like, "What's up?" You know,
I don't know. That sounds like a
And then
dating
you start
app.
dancing.
It sounds like a new dating app.
What's up?
Well,
there's a WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. What's up?
Right.
Yeah.
There's a WhatsApp. Well,
It should be
WhatsApp.
called Get Out of My Way.
Or it should be called "Don't Bump Into Me." We're in a park.
Yeah.
I mean, how much more space do you need? I can get it on a subway. Like if you're in the subway in the
Right.
middle of the day, you're on the L going somewhere.
Right. Brooklyn.
You're gonna bump. Well, maybe you're gonna bump into somebody. Oops, I'm sorry. You know, but at a park, you have. I mean, come on.
Yeah. You have so much space.
You have a lot of space.
But on a subway, do you say, oops, there it is?
Sometimes.
It's a song. The NYPD released surveillance photos of the alleged thieves.
First of all, before you, Shannon,
thieves.
"Oops,
Late
There It
London.
Is" was never a song. By the way, I just want to make that a point. If you look up "Oops, There It Is," there's no song called "Oops, There It Is."
We make adjustments on the show, Anthony.
Right.
All the thefts, 4 of them on Thanksgiving Day alone, took place amid the park's annual Winter Village installation, a popular holiday market featuring multiple vendors selling their wares out of kiosks. So do you understand what's happening here? Let me paint a picture for
This
you.
show
and
should
the
be called
fans.
"Mike Vecchione Learns to Read."
Listen to
Because
me.
you are a horrible
No,
reader.
I'm not.
You read like a 3-year-old.
Listen to me. I'm slowing it down for the fans
You're a Manhattan.
and myself.
You're a Manhattan 3-year-old reading.
Manhattan
Bible.
3-year-olds are very high functioning.
That's what I mean.
We're
Go ahead. Go. I'm sorry. I
You're
didn't mean to make
insulting
you-
me, and then people are getting pickpocketed now. I think 3 more people got pickpocketed in the time that you told me that I can't read.
Right, and it's
And
an
a lot of our
epidemic.
fans actually can't read. So how do you think they feel right now? Unemployed?
I feel sorry for that.
I feel sorry for them
No,
too.
I apologize
But you know what?
to
This
them.
this says targeting, and it feels like you're targeting me right now. You're targeting me, and you're not pickpocketing
Which
me.
what they are
Instead, what
accustomed
you're
to.
doing is you're trying to take a shot at my self-esteem, and I do affirmations in order to counter people like you. So what I'm saying is I'm feeling your negativity, but I don't respond to it. I take your adversity and I transmute it into victory. I'm taking your adversity and I'm transmuting it into victory. I'm taking your adversity, the fact that you said that I can't read, and I'm transmuting it into victory. There. Okay. I have to do that sometimes. Because people like you will bring me down.
Here's
otherwise.
the couple.
That couple looks hot. God, they're sexy. And they probably use their sexuality to pickpocket, Anthony.
That's a hot couple to you?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
That guy actually from the side kind of looks like me. And the girl from the front kind of looks like Shannon.
That's true.
It's like me and Shannon if we were pickpocketers.
It's if Shannon put a sock on her head.
If Shannon put a tiger sock on her head and I was looking away from the canister with a fade, it would be us. Are we suspects in this, Shannon? Are you a suspect? Were we hanging out pickpocketing people in Bryant Park?
Of course not.
And it looks like you're going, don't look at me, Shannon. Don't look at me, Shannon. I told you never to make eye contact with me, Shannon.
These cameras are everywhere, though. And one more. I have to do this cash flow. How TikTokers' tears made novelist Colleen Hoover a millionaire phenom. When British I can't read that. Lorenko,
that's
31.
surprise.
It's her last name, dude.
Positive.
People's last names. I can't read French last names.
Positive. It's positive.
Read the 4 harrowing words It Ends With Us at the end of Colleen Hoover's blockbuster novel of the same name. Last year, she cried like a baby. Why do people always say cry like a baby? Babies sometimes scream. But
Right.
very few of them are just straight
And if
crying.
you shake them, they don't say anything.
They don't say anything because they're dead, Anthony.
Why come people don't say I was shook like a baby?
Then the clinical mental health counselors from Connecticut took a teary selfie and posted it to her Instagram story. It just pulled on every heartstring I had with how strong
Another
she
French
was.
last name?
Lorenko told the post of the novel's protagonist, that was a big word, a hardworking florist named Lily who has a whirlwind romance that turns abusive with a neurosurgeon named Kyle. It made me cry for probably 45 minutes. Have you ever cried for 45 minutes?
Yeah, usually after the show.
Is crying the new laughing, Anthony?
No.
It could be. That's what they're saying. Do you want followers on TikTok? Maybe you should get on TikTok and cry, perhaps after the show that's dragging you down.
I'll think about it.
Maybe you needed an emotional support snake. I think people are delving into these different animals, and I think an emotional support snake is a great
God damn it.
option. All right.
It
Enough
can
of
be
this. I
fun.
think we're
It can be
insulting
fun.
Shannon right now by not going through the regular stories that we have. But I had the paper, and I had to get the stories from the streets. And notwithstanding Anthony's attempts to drag me down by saying my reading level is very low, even though it's very high.
No, I said it was horrible.
Yeah, you said it was horrible.
Yeah, I didn't
which
say it
means
was low. I mean, that would be kind of like, that would almost be like a helpful way of trying to make you feel better. That's kind of like encouraging. It's low, but you can probably raise it. Anyway, we're 3 hours into the show, so let's get to
We're not. Let's go to some plugs, and then let's go to the stories that we have, the regularly scheduled stories. I am Mike Vecchione, and thank you for joining us. And thank you for joining us on the YouTube premiere. There's a lot of good people on the YouTube premiere saying a lot of positive things, and also upplaying our show, and knowing that they are low-income whites and they need to better themselves. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for the comments. I read them. I don't respond to all of them. I try to jump on the YouTube premiere 9 p.m. on Mondays when I can. But you guys are the best. So thank you and spread the word. And I'm spreading the word on the road. I take a whole section of my act now and I talk about Mike Vecchione Investigates. And we're doing journalism the way it should be done, fake. And so thank you for joining us. Please follow me at Comic Mike V on all social media platforms, MikeVecchione.com for dates. I have a date in New Jersey, December 16th, Valares. I think it's a Friday. Valares. It's not on my schedule, I don't think. Valares in Sicklerville, New Jersey, December 16th. If you're in the Philadelphia area, please come to Valares in Sicklerville, New Jersey, December 16th. And my friend Vince Valentine produces that show. And for more dates coming into 2023, MikeVecchione.com. Also, people have been asking about my special. It's done. We're going to put it out, and it's not going to be for a couple months. It's going to be in February, I believe, that it will be out. So we will keep you updated on that. It's done. It looks great. I'm very proud of it, and it will be out a couple months. Anthony, what do you got?
My name is Anthony Zenhauser. You can follow me at the Zen Comic on Instagram and Twitter. And this Saturday, I am going to be headlining in Poughkeepsie, New York at Laugh It Up. What's so funny? I've been headlining in Poughkeepsie at Laugh It Up. I'm going to be there with Ray DeVito and my friend Lauren Petrie. She's a very funny comic. Come out to Mahoney's Bar and Grill, Laugh It Up Comedy Club. The laughitupcomedy.com, I believe, is the line for the reservations. And I'm going to be there also in Poughkeepsie for New Year's Eve. It's a big New Year's Eve bash. I believe it falls on the 31st of December this year. December 31st, New Year's Eve. Come on out to Laugh It Up at Mahoney's in Poughkeepsie. And catch my new show, Men Are Talking. It's a podcast about women done by men. We handle women's issues. We give them advice the only way a man can, the right way. And follow us on Twitter, Men, letter R Talking on Twitter, and then Men, ARE Talking Show at Instagram. And if you want us to make it more complicated, we will.
Can I also say something about my plug? The December 16th date, which I need everybody in the Philadelphia area to come out to, is vvcomedy.com for tickets. vvcomedy.com for tickets. So December 16th, Philadelphia area, vvcomedy.com for tickets. I was just in Philadelphia with Nate, and I made the announcement on both shows in Philadelphia, and I'm hoping that people come out. Shannon.
You can follow me on Instagram at ShannonLee6982. Listen to my podcast, The Thing Is, Dang. We talk about bad dates, fighting, and ghosts. Wherever you listen to Mike Vecchione Investigates, you can also watch it live for free every single Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern at gasdigitalnetwork.com/live. That's absolutely for free. The best way to support the show is to go to gasdigitalnetwork.com. Use promo code MVI. You will get a 1-week free trial, which gives you access to every single episode of this show we've ever done, as well as every episode on every single show on all of Gas Digital Network. If you listen on iTunes or YouTube, make sure to rate, review. Anthony's dead-eye stare into the camera. It's really making me laugh. If you listen on iTunes or YouTube, make sure to rate, review, tell a friend, subscribe, leave a comment. Every little bit of interaction helps the show to grow. Go to podcastmerch.com for t-shirts, hoodies, and mugs. And if you have your own video investigation to submit, send in to MikeVecchioneInvestigates at gmail.com. That's it.
Oh, I got a message from our friend Laura,
Aw,
Leader.
what'd she say?
She sent us a package.
Aw,
So be on the lookout for it.
okay.
And don't let the drug addicts from Gas Digital steal it,
Got it.
because there's some good stuff in there usually. She's great. She's one of our finest low-income whites.
I got a package for you.
Anthony, let's use your investigative skills and let's get to some stories. Shannon, billionaire pays for thousands of employees to party at Disney World.
Yeah, so Ken Griffin, who is one of the owners of Citadel and Citadel Securities, the hedge fund and trading businesses.
Hedge fund.
Yep. He reached into his deep pockets and for about 10,000 of their staff and their families, he sent them to Disney World in Florida for 3 days in the Magic Kingdom.
He sent 10,000 people to Disney World.
Yep.
That's insane. Why wouldn't you just give them a vacation and give them a stipend and let them do what they want to do? Maybe people don't want to go to Disney World.
It's still a nice
It's a nice gesture, Shannon.
Yeah.
With all the scams that are going on with FTX and Bitcoin, it even used real money to send them to Disney. Disney money is probably more real than the FTX Bitcoin money.
That's true. Maybe he got like a discount, so he saved money by doing this instead of just giving them cash.
You know, maybe it's like a boss taking you to Jamaica. You know, just saying,
And then watching you drowned while no one does anything about it.
Well, it happens. He's not
does
responsible. A
happen.
boss is not responsible for your fun having. They can only take you to a destination.
I'm saying that he did this for like some kind of a Disney tax write-off. There had to be a tax write-off.
Did you write down hedge fund because that's a new word you learned?
I wrote down hedge fund because I write down suspicious words and then I think of different things that have to do with the hedge fund in order to siphon off the investigation. When you're doing an event, let me tell you about investigating, Anthony, because I know you don't know much. You come in from a bowling background apparently and a vegetarian hat, so you don't know that much. Let me tell you what happens when you come in and you investigate. You don't focus on one suspect. You focus on a lot of different areas, a lot of different things it could be, and then you narrow it down. So hedge fund is the main word here that I used. And then I thought the FTX scandal, Disney, maybe he's, he went to Epcot, and then maybe he's hiding some of the money in the Swiss area of Epcot Center. That could be an option. There's got to be a reason behind giving 10,000 employees Disney passes. Maybe he wants to put them all on Space Mountain. I'm writing that down right now. Get them to the top of Space Mountain where they have a heart attack and they vomit. Or maybe they vomit on a senior advisor who's on a lower cart than them. And then it's awkward in the office the next day. There's a lot of reasons for things,
right.
Anthony.
It is the happiest place on earth.
It's supposed to be the happiest place on earth.
And it is, if you have a great attitude about it. You have to kind of imagineer it.
What is a hedge fund, though, Shannon? Can we look that up? I know it's something financial. It's a lot of money.
It is a limited partnership of investors that uses high-risk methods such as investing and borrowed money in hopes of realizing large capital gains.
Hunter Biden.
But they probably party pretty hard.
So
a hedge fund is high risk, and they realize high gains. I like to realize some high gains. That's a great word to use. I didn't know you could use the word realize like that. They realize high gains.
You can realize other people's money in your pocket.
But it's high risk, Anthony, and you live a high risk lifestyle as a low income white. So how is that different?
Well, mine is more like medical.
You're taking crazy chances in your life.
Just high blood pressure.
Yes.
Type 2 diabetes.
Yes.
Bad posture. And apparently BO. Apparently.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
This is everything that takes place in a Waffle House, by the way.
Right. Well, those you can't come in unless you actually have one of those things.
But should these be... So what I'm getting from this story right now is that they're using our money for high-risk ventures and then taking the profits and sending their entire staff to Disney World.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting from it. The rich win again.
The rich always win.
Say one good thing about him. He has, over his lifetime, donated more than $1.5 billion to the arts, educational, and medical causes.
Yeah, of your money. Not his money.
1.5 billion?
Mm-hmm.
You know what this sounds like to me a little bit, Shannon? Ponzi scheme.
Maybe.
Moving the money around in a fun... Ponzi schemes are kind of fun.
They are.
You're moving them around in a fun-like fashion.
You know what the coolest ones are?
What?
Fonzi schemes.
Okay. I'm going to give you credit for that based on the fact that it was cool that you did that.
What are you writing?
I'm writing
down?
a Ponzi scheme. I'm writing Ponzi scheme.
It's scribble and bibble.
I'm writing Ponzi scheme. Can you not tell the fans what we're doing behind the scenes here?
There's no reason to. Again, I'm
yes,
not
there is. There is a reason to write stuff down, and there is a reason to read things slowly.
It sounds like you have a lot of anger.
You don't get the fans I get them. You don't really understand them. They appreciate me writing stuff down and focusing on it. They can't. They have ADHD. They're on fentanyl. I need to use my skills, my clean lifestyle, to focus and teach.
Did you get anybody vaxxed while you were down there?
Did I get anybody vaccinated?
Yeah. Do you think you spread the word where they're going to finally get their booster shots?
Yes, I'm trying to spread the word, and I'm trying to get them out of hedge funds and into Waffle Houses. I think a Waffle House is a better investment than a hedge fund. I'll just be honest with you.
If you were the head of a company, where would you take them?
Waffle House. 2 words. Waffle House. I'd get everybody a breakfast at the Waffle House for a month. God, that's better than Disney World. All these characters coming up to you. I'm Goofy. It's like no one cares anymore. No one cares. I'm a princess. God, people don't get it. Let's go to the next one. Miracle dog that jumped in Hudson River, swam to New Jersey, gets reunited with New York City family.
Where's the miracle?
Because the dog is engaging in high-risk behavior.
Was he a saint?
He jumped into the Hudson River and then swam to reunite with his family.
That's not a miracle.
Yes, it is. It's a family dog.
So if a kid gets lost in Walmart and then they reunite them, he goes to the help center and they go, there's Jimmy here. Is there a Mary Patankin here for Jimmy?
Yes.
That's a miracle?
Yes, it's a Walmart miracle.
Okay.
It's a low-budget, low-income white miracle.
Okay.
Find your kid. Most of them are leaving their kids. They don't pay child support.
Oddly enough, a lot of the kids that your fans have, their names are Miracle.
They name their kids Miracle?
Right.
That's actually a cool, fun name.
It is fun.
Anthony. Not like Anthony.
No.
Tony. Antonio.
It's good.
Makes you sound like an illegal.
Makes me sound
which you probably
sophisticated, actually.
God, let's not go after each other. Miracle dog that jumped in the Hudson River. You're calling BS on the fact that it's a miracle dog?
I don't believe that constitutes a miracle. As a fellow Roman Catholic, I don't want to out you on your own show, but you are ethnic. Okay. You are Italian. You're not a white guy like you say. You're Mediterranean.
I'm a Mediterranean white. I'm a blue collar. I'm a hard hat white.
Right.
That's what they call
You're
us
a
in
deli white.
sociological.
You're a
deli white.
You're a deli white.
A pizza white.
Right.
Okay, so yes, we've established that. But in the last investigations that we had, there was a dog that shot a hunter. Remember that story, Shannon?
Yes.
It was a dog who shot a hunter.
Allegedly.
And this, allegedly, because that dog has a right to a trial. This dog jumps to be with his family and swims through the Hudson River, which is a dirtbag river.
Right.
The Hudson River is very dirty and cold. And this dog sacrificed for his family. Not like that other dog who shoots his owner. Mm-hmm. He shot his owner when the owner was out of the truck. The dog pawed the rifle. I don't know why it was pointed out the window, but whatever the circumstances, he pawed at the trigger and it shot and killed his owner. Now, you're supposed to be man's best friend. That dog in that story proved to be a Judas. This dog is the opposite. He jumped into a river to reunite with his family.
Sometimes you're man's best friend, but sometimes you're fucking your best friend's wife, and that friend has to go. So all I'm saying is that maybe that dog had reasons. But for that dog jumping into the Hudson River, it's a happy happenstance that the dog. I mean, maybe the dog jumped into the river, maybe because it wasn't that smart. I mean, would you jump?
Saying that the dog is dumb?
That's a dumb dog.
Is the podcast over, Shannon? We have no signal?
No, I think someone turned the TV on or off out there, so I just took it away for a second.
This is some low-income podcasting.
Somebody outside who doesn't get the podcast is trying to stop us.
It's a sabotage.
They're trying to stop our free speech.
I think maybe the dog was stupid. I think maybe
it was a stupid dog?
Would you jump? I wouldn't jump in the Hudson River.
For my family? Your family is on the other side of that river?
I would get a ride across the GW Bridge.
I'm sorry. Maybe this miracle dog doesn't have Uber.
Well, maybe it should learn.
Ubers for dogs. Is that what you're saying?
Sit, Uber, sit.
I can tell you what happened here.
Tell me what happened, Shannon.
So the puppy got separated from his family and jumped. Okay, whatever. The ordeal started Saturday afternoon when owner Ellen Walpin said she was walking with her Leonberger Bernese mix named Bear on the Upper West Side to get a better fitting dog harness. So I think she's already just covering her tracks here because she's saying that his harness didn't fit him before this. Right. Bear is a seizure service dog for her 20-year-old developmentally disabled son, Zach. So they were starting to head back to their home, but the dog became startled and bolted when a bystander tried to scoop him up. From there, Bear was on the loose, running about 30 blocks on the bike trail near the water until 110th Street when he jumped into the river and started paddling. Another bystander saw him swimming across to New Jersey, but lost sight of him about 3/4 of the way. So that's the last that the mother knew at that point. So they waited a couple of days. They were waiting to hear something. And then by Monday, she's like, there's no way he survived this. And then on Tuesday, they got a call from the Edgewater Fire Company and said that they found him by the pier in Independence Harbor pre-dawn. And so he came home.
Did the fire rescue take him home, or did he find his way home?
Well, the fire rescue found him.
Yes.
But he eventually got home. He made it. He didn't die.
So what, like, walk me through how he was lost again?
So it seems like a stranger went to pick him up, and that freaked him out. And so he just ran, which I feel like service dogs should be more well-trained than that.
You're blaming the dog who's a victim, Shannon?
The dog is so cute. Let me show you the dog. This is Bear.
Oh, okay.
So cute.
Yeah.
6 months old, just a puppy.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's why, because he's
Maybe.
a puppy. He's only 6 months old. But he's a seizure service dog, so he's going to calm people down when they're having a seizure.
Well, I think some of them can actually detect when the seizure is going to happen.
Right.
But it doesn't say specifically. And then the first thing in the morning, they got him a better fitting harness. And he was healthy. They took him to the vet and he was healthy.
I want a Caesar dog. I want a dog who makes me Caesar salads.
That's something.
That would be unbelievable.
That would really be good.
Like I knew you wanted one. How did you know? I'm a Caesar dog.
I'm a Caesar salad dog. It's a miracle dog, and Anthony thinks he's doesn't like the word miracle here.
I don't like the word miracle. As a Roman Catholic, as somebody who you should be aware of too, because you are also.
Don't tell me what I am.
You're
Anthony.
a deli white, and you believe the same
I do
things
believe in
miracle.
I believe this was a miracle.
You believe that's
This
a
was a
miracle. You
miracle.
believe that is an act of God.
Yeah.
That dog made it home because the fire department found that stupid dog on the edge of the river.
We're calling the dog names now.
No, that's my way of explaining my argument. Okay, that retarded, stupid dog jumped into the river, and he was found, of course, by the Edgewater Fire Department, named aptly because they're founded on the edge of the water. Took the dog, brought it back to their family because I'm sure the dog's family was on the collar. I'm sure there was information. So where's the miracle, Mike?
The miracle is, first of all, I think it's a miracle this dog can predict seizures. We're just skipping over that completely.
You think that's a miracle?
Yeah, it's a miracle that he can predict seizures.
I can predict.
Can you?
If you had a seizure, I would know if you were having a seizure.
I've gotten pretty close doing this podcast with you. Let's go to another dog-related story. I think that's what we need right now. Because this one we're just disagreeing on, and we're going to have to come back. Dog found in bag by airport X-ray, angering pet lovers. Dog found in bag by airport X-ray, angering pet lovers.
A doggy bag.
Is this a miracle? What do you deem a miracle? What's the story, Shannon?
So this comes up after when we had Robbie Bernstein on the show, is when we went over when the cat was found in the luggage. And none of us were very happy with that story. We felt like it was the airline or the airline employee just trying to get a raise.
Right. So there was a cat found in the luggage on the last episode.
Right. So this time, this dog actually made it through the X-ray. The cat didn't make it through the X-ray because they claimed that they saw the hair poking out of the zipper. So this time, the dog made it through the X-ray. And then on the other end, they said the dog accidentally made it through. The owner of the dog had reportedly neglected to inform the screeners that her pet was put in the bag before the conveyor. However, they didn't specify, because this is all put in a tweet by the TSA at Great Lakes. The tweet didn't specify if she was trying to intentionally smuggle the pup or had simply forgotten about the animal in her luggage.
Well, that's how things should be explained in a series of tweets, I think. But I think these dogs are trying to run away, and they're doing it in a more sophisticated fashion by sneaking through airport security and getting to another city.
So you think the dog put itself in the book bag?
I think so.
Kind of like Kevin McAllister his way?
I think that this dog was trying to get away, and instead of just running away, because they're always returned, he was like, let me go to Seattle or another city and let me start a new life there.
But the same city that the woman was going to?
Which woman?
They said the dog was in a bag
Yeah.
of the woman that was going on the flight.
Oh, that's true. Was the dog going to the same place as the woman?
Yes.
Yeah, so unless the dog isn't another, like it
Well,
just
maybe the
wants
dog-
wanted to go on a trip.
Can I finish, Anthony? Because maybe
sorry.
this dog was planning to go through security, but then when they're in the airport and taking another connecting flight
Right.
away from the owner, and then getting more super medallion miles from it.
Right.
Because once a pet acquires enough super medallion miles, they don't need an owner. They can just fly business class wherever they want in the country. So it's about getting through to the airport and then finding a connecting city that you would like, probably somewhere
So that's
warm.
what happened. You think that?
I think that this dog was running away. Yes.
And they were trying to accumulate some air miles at the same time?
Probably, yeah. If they have a Delta credit card, which doesn't let them into any lounge, even though it seems like it would,
Right.
but it wouldn't. And if you're 3 hours early, they don't allow that, and they charge you $40. So come back 2 hours before your flight. We're going to charge you $40, and then you can stay here for a limited time. Like, wow, that sounds like you really care about me.
I think this is getting a little too personal.
It is too personal because I was ousted from a Delta lounge, even though I have a credit card. Why do I even have the credit card?
I would suggest traveling in a book bag.
Probably.
Was that dog a Diamond member?
Doesn't say.
Diamond medallion. Everything is a medallion now. Do you not get it?
I don't work a lot on the road. I don't work a lot on the road.
Well,
I wish
the Waffle Houses are hiring.
maybe if Nate Bargatze was taking me to different places, I would know that. But
Good slam.
apparently,
Good slam.
I don't know. So I apologize to you. I apologize to you and
I'm taking your negativity and I'm transmuting it into victory. Model poses with deadly grizzly bear, but she's not in danger because the bear is a vegetarian. This hits home for you because you have a hat that says vegetarian on.
Right,
even though
and
you
I'm also a
clearly
bear.
eat meat. Model poses with deadly grizzly bear, but she's not in danger because the bear is a vegetarian. Now, this model is very sexy, and this bear looks very hungry. So, Shannon, what's the story?
So this bear was adopted as a young cub, and it's, they haven't been feeding it any meat, and they actually rent out this bear for movies, photo shoots, etc. But they say that because
A bear rental? They
Yes.
rent out the bear.
They do, yes. They say he's been in many movies and
Right.
stuff. But they say that here's some more pictures. But they say that because he doesn't have the taste for meat, that he's not a danger to anybody.
So they've made this bear so weak. They've made this bear oh my god.
So
this
cute.
this bear must eat a lot of vegetables. It looks like he's proposing to her. Right? Beauty and the Bear?
You can say beast because it's kind of
Is it beast? Is that negative?
No, because it's their word.
They've made this bear so non-threatening that they could rent him out, and they're pretty sure that he's not going to do anything he's not going to flip out.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but he's constantly asking you to invest in his startup vape business.
I wonder if this bear does vape, because he's a vegetarian, the bear, and I'm saying even though this bear might be a woman.
Is it a woman bear? I think it's a him bear.
I think it is a him bear.
It's a him bear.
Yes. Yes, it is a boy
You can
bear.
tell because he has a bear penis.
Well, maybe the bear will raise its kids to not play any contact sports, but to play like pickleball or something. Maybe we can keep the non-threatening. These non-threatening bears are apparently a thing now. A non-threatening bear.
Yeah. It's an epidemic.
Of non-threatening bears.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
It says that the bear stands 7 foot tall, sometimes sits down in the evenings to watch TV with his owners, and even helps to water the plants. He's a good boy.
7 feet tall and a vegetarian sounds like somebody's got Shannon's eye.
7 feet tall, a vegetarian.
A little hairy, but not that skinny. We'll propose right away as soon as there's a camera. I mean, what else do you need?
What does this bear hibernate with? Enya in the background? Okay. I think that's vegetarian bear. You don't even give the bear the option to eat meat.
Well, I think that also means the bear can have cheese and eggs because it's a vegetarian. It's not a vegan.
It's not a vegan.
It's not a total dick.
No. But what do you think that, what if you're wearing some kind of like a parsley perfume? Then the bear will eat you then.
Yeah, they recommend that. They say no parsley perfumes that are very popular.
And this bear has never attacked. And that's what they said about the Siegfried and Roy lion, the tiger.
Right, but
they said he never attacks.
It was different, though.
But and then when the animal does attack, they always go, well, he was scared.
Right.
It's always like defend, like,
I read the
there's
paper.
these lawyers out there who go, he was scared. He was afraid. You have a shiny necklace on. They always bring something into it like it's your fault. They blame the victim.
Right. That's true, though. I mean, the bear doesn't mean to attack you. It's just doing what a bear does.
Yeah.
And for the most part, that bear doesn't get to do what a bear does by not eating meat. You're taking away certain things from that bear.
Yeah, any kind of aggression. This bear, instead of attacking you, goes to an Indigo Girls concert. I'm writing down Indigo Girls. Okay, let's go to the next story. Women slam popular AI photo app Lensa for making them skinnier and giving them bigger breasts and sexualized edits. This makes me furious because I think women want larger breasts and to be skinnier, a lot of them. And the fact that this app is doing it for them is making them furious. How can you say it with me? Ungrateful. What's the problem here? Anthony, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to skip over you on this one and go to Shannon, a live woman.
Right. I'll come back, though.
You come back on it.
I'll come back on it.
Shannon first. Women before men on this one, Anthony.
So just to clarify what they're saying here, and I can show you some of the pictures that people are claiming this is happening in, is that they're saying that the filters that they're using are supposedly like trying to make them look, quote, more beautiful.
Yeah.
And by doing that, they're like snatching in their waist, making their boobs bigger, and maybe it's making them more self-conscious. I think this is maybe just a promotion for the app because that seems ridiculous because any filter that you use is going to make you look better in one way or another.
How about it's something to shoot for? Like if I saw a picture of myself but with bigger arms, bigger chest, stronger leg, I would be like, oh, that's the version that I want to be. Right. So I'm not in this unfiltered picture, but Lensa is making me the best version of myself. Let me shoot for that in the gym.
Yeah, and a lot of pictures that I send to women, probably some of your fans out there, that the camera I use makes my penis look a lot smaller than it is. And I would like to also be furious at that. I would like to state my anger.
You have the opposite.
Yeah, well, it
makes things smaller.
It makes things a lot smaller than it looks, than it really is.
So some people are saying that they're like the filters that they're using are. One person says, all I wanted to do was see what I looked like as cosmic, iridescent, or fantasy characters. And instead, I'm sent back to memories of myself at 12, lonely, hungry, anxious, and terrified. This is really
this is bad if you had a bad childhood. Lensa is sending you back to a traumatic period of your life. And I think you need probably a miracle seizure dog that could help you if you get triggered.
I agree. But I don't know, seeing how you're making your breasts bigger makes you terrified and bring you back to your childhood. I would imagine if you were younger, you'd have smaller breasts.
Yeah, what is the deal with that, Shannon? If you're younger, you have smaller breasts.
Usually, right?
These are just like fragile people that literally anything can make
Yeah,
them
our
crazy.
fans. You're talking about our fans, low-income fragiles.
Here are some of the tweets that people have posted about it. Let's see. One person said, why did Lensa make me skinny, blue-eyed, and small-nosed? This is high-key indicative of widespread implicit and explicit bias in coding AIs.
There's a lot of words. Implicit bias about making you hotter. God, I just don't understand this world we live in. You want to be hotter. This app is making you hotter, and you're complaining about that?
This says, one complaint I have about Lensa AI is it will make you skinny in some images. As a fat person, those images really bothered me. So careful not to get triggered if you're a fellow fatty with no interest in becoming skinny.
No interest in becoming healthy?
Yeah.
Yeah, or
God.
beautiful.
Does she? Can we get her account? Did she work at a Waffle House? No, the people that work at the Waffle House are actually healthy. They're hyper conscious.
Right. They just came out from being on the run,
Yes.
so they don't have a lot of nutrition.
I think the word you're looking for is fugitive.
Yeah.
Fugitive. It's a great place for fugitives, the Waffle House. It's a great breakfast for people who are
It
on
makes
the run.
it taste better.
God, it does.
It's so good.
2 artists are forcibly removed from Art Basel in Miami after milking a woman's breasts and auctioning off the milk for $200,000. Are we going after art now, Shannon?
I guess so. But they did.
Milking a woman is art, and it's also breastfeeding. It's also natural. It's like natural art.
They did let them. Do you want to see the video of them doing it?
Oh, I definitely do. What website is that?
Easy, Anthony.
Yeah, it's a
Do they show the milking?
Yeah. Oh. So they do blur it out, but I think they're saying that they're prosthetic breasts used there. There's no sound really. So, and they're saying that the purpose of this was they were trying to say like how much women are sexualized because they auctioned off the milk afterwards. And the second,
Is she from The Matrix?
the second thing of milk sold for $200,000, or it was like 100 something.
Yeah, but why are they doing it? Isn't it a display? Were they just doing it in the middle of the floor of the art show?
They were doing it as part of their display,
But it's kind of like they were walking around doing it. Why don't they do it don't they have a booth or something?
Yeah, I guess it was.
They're just walking around shooting milk into a yeah, that's against the rules of the art show.
Yeah, you have a booth.
You have a booth.
You have a place to do
Stay
this.
in your booth and milk yourself, and then you can auction off the milk at your
Right,
booth.
right.
You
They
don't
could-
have to walk around drawing attention to yourself by milking yourself.
They could walk around with trays of cheese on toothpicks,
Right.
and be like, would you like a free sample of our art?
Well, I mean, a lot of our lactose intolerance fans have shut the show off at this point.
Well, a lot of people who are used to shopping at Walmart are watching harder because they like free samples.
Yeah, and I think this is a standard practice at Walmart's, people walking around just breastfeeding.
A lot of your fans from the ages of 70 to 83 who watch this show, which is about 95% of the people, enjoy going to Walmart and getting free cheese. So what we're doing here is we're showing them that art could also
Imitating life.
can imitate life.
Yeah, I'd like to see the whole process. They're milking, a woman is milking herself, walking around, and then taking it and turning it into cheese or cottage cheese or some other.
Right. Plus the price of milk these days, $200,000.
That's why you got to go almond milk now, which everybody's doing. And it does taste like dirty water, but it's still very popular.
Right. But her name was Almond.
Almond.
So
Almond, the artist formerly known as Almond.
you were getting almond water. Milk.
Pecan. Wow, that was a hard charging story. $200,000. What would you do with $200,000?
Like right now?
Yeah, $200,000.
Take all you guys to Disney World.
Would you?
Yeah, I think so. But that's just me as a considerate person.
I think I would pay a lot of women to, if I had the $200,000 from somebody milking themselves, I'd buy 20 women and then milk all of them and then make $200,000 a pop from that. I'm just figuring out a
you're
way.
Wishing for more wishes.
I'm sorry if you're not understanding.
No,
It's
you're
more,
wishing for more wishes.
Yeah, it's
I
like hedge fund
understand.
stuff that I'm talking about.
Right, you're taking
Make the money work for you.
Right.
A lot of hedge fund guys
smart.
say that.
It's smart.
It sounds like human trafficking, Mike.
It's not human trafficking if they're paid well and it's legal and they're walking around art shows doing it, Shannon. I'm very sorry to inform you of that. But that's called art. It's art imitating life, imitating commerce.
Right.
It's art and commerce combining to make a hedge fund. My sister demands 20 a head for Christmas dinner. I wouldn't dream of charging my family. Would you charge your family for Christmas dinner?
Not
This
for
is
head.
the last story that we're going to do, and I think it's appropriate because a lot of people claim that they want to see their families, and they actually don't. And when they get there, it's like the same thing every time. And if you're hosting Christmas dinner, is it inappropriate to charge your family, Anthony?
Who depend on whose family? If it
Is
was
it your family?
my family?
Yeah.
I wouldn't charge them.
No.
No. Not if I was hosting.
Right.
But, I mean, if it was your family coming over.
Oh, if you had another family coming
Yeah,
over.
yeah. If I had the Vecchiones coming over for a real meal,
Right.
Finally,
Right.
$20 a head.
$20 a head?
That's easy.
You have to pay up front at the door? Are you at the door collecting money?
It's a door deal.
And do I have to wear a bracelet?
It's a 70-30 door deal. You get 70% of the ticket
I
sales.
don't like these numbers.
As a comic, you should, because that's a pretty good door deal. If you have a weekend at your mom's house,
You're getting very arrogant because you're
mom-
assuming that your Christmas dinner will draw people.
I mean,
Will it draw?
I'm constantly being asked at certain dinners. On Instagram, I get a lot of hits on my Thanksgiving dinner, and now that's a lot of bookers are interested in me doing Christmas dinner. And I think that you should know, of all people, you go to your mom's house and you get a 70-30 door deal. That's pretty good. You should take that deal, and you don't even have to pay the guy who makes dessert.
Of all people, you said. Me, of all people. I think it would be great if my mom, who's retired now, a school teacher for 40 years, made the dinner, and then afterwards, me and my brother and my sister were like, is this all going to be on one check, or do you want separate checks?
Right.
It would be a curveball.
It would throw everything into
It would throw
weirdness.
everything. It's like, are you? And then she really did have the check, and she dropped separate checks on us, and we were all forced to pay. And I'd be like, "Do you take credit cards?" She'd be like, "No."
But if your mom asked you to chip in one holiday,
Yeah, but that's different. Chipping in is different. That's like a family thing. To drop a check is so formal, and I love it. I love that it's like a different take on Christmas dinner. It's like there's no freebies anymore. Everybody just takes things for granted now, I think. It's like you go home, your mom's going to have a great meal for you. It's like you kind of don't appreciate it.
Right.
Like for Thanksgiving. For Thanksgiving used to be, it's like, I'm going to pig out, I'm going to eat, But now, like, we're so successful in this country, every meal is kind of Thanksgiving. It's like you can eat that way every meal. A lot of us can. So it's like, what's special about Thanksgiving? Start charging people and dropping checks on them, and then they'll appreciate it more.
Yeah. I mean, at the last minute, too.
Yeah.
Like right before, you think after dessert? Right before dessert. What do you think?
And then I would like to not leave my mom a tip and go, and then her be like later that night, was there a problem with the service?
Right.
I think that would be cool.
That would be
And then
fun.
I could be like, well, I just tip 15%. She goes, well, 15% is for the kitchen and for the other staff.
The bus.
Yeah,
they
for the
have
bus.
to tip out. She has
So
to tip
I have
out.
to tip everybody out. So
your
it's like,
aunt.
could you just anything extra that you could spare would be
Right.
great. And I'd be like, okay, well, you're making it weird.
Right.
Now you're making it weird. Dropping the check, that's business.
Mm-hmm.
What you're doing now is personal. And I'm going to have my mom back on this
And
show
15
to speak for herself.
She should. I mean, this is a big issue for her, probably.
It's a big issue for her.
15% is also not the regular tip anymore.
What is it?
It's at least 20%.
I tip at least 20%, but then when I was in Miami, they ask for more because they're like, well, this goes to the staff. And I go, well, it's a service charge? They go, it's a service charge. I go, what's the actual tip? They go, I make about 10% of this. I go, well, I waited tables in years past, and we just had to tip everybody out, so it's kind of the same thing. You're just making it formal.
Right.
I go, I don't know. I'm not making any money. Is there anything extra you could spare? It's about, okay, well, how about 40% then? How about I give you 40%?
How about I just give you 70%?
How about I buy you a house?
Right.
Would that be better?
Would it be okay if I became successful and bought you a house like I promised 20 years ago? Old wound?
This has been the show, guys. We've gone through all of our, sometimes we don't make it through all of our stories, but we stayed long, and we kept Anthony for a long time.
You stayed in the pocket, though.
You stayed in the pocket.
You definitely did.
And I did even weather the fact that you made fun of my reading and that you came after me at certain points on the show. I stayed focused. I envisioned myself losing my temper and then just going into a rage and trashing the Gas Digital Studio, which probably would get us more ratings. But I didn't. I stayed focused. I stayed in the pocket, and I kept you on as an investigator instead of lashing out.
Right. And I'm really looking forward to coming back as an investigator that doesn't get paid on the show.
It's an
Or-
internship. It's
Right,
an unpaid internship
right.
that
That's
we're
what-
having you on now.
Right. It's exciting. It's exciting to think about the future.
it's exciting to have the opportunity to investigate with me, a seasoned investigator.
Right.
And we shouldn't take it for granted, just like you shouldn't take for granted that you're going to get the meal free at your mother's house. And you don't appreciate it until she drops a check.
Right.
And
Getting
you have
that
to pay
text from Shannon like, okay, we're just going to try you out. Don't get comfortable.
Right.
All right. I got that text. I came
Should never
in.
be comfortable.
Well, she didn't make me feel comfortable when I came in and she was spraying the air with that disinfectant or
Right.
whatever she had. I mean, it hurt me.
And
It
it
really
should've.
did.
It was meant to.
And I came in and you were like, "You're a racist. I know you're not a racist, but you're kind of."
No. I didn't say that. I didn't say that
implied
you
I
were.
was a racist.
I said that you were a non-racist skinhead, and there are such things.
Right, which meant that you were making fun of the fact that I'm bald.
Making
You made-
fun
you
of
made-
the fact that you're bald,
you were
or
having
merely
fun.
pointing it out.
You were having fun with it.
I wasn't celebrating it.
You
I was
took out your
stating
notebook.
it as a fact.
You took out your notebook because you wrote it before the show because you thought it was a funny joke, and which is fine. You know, I got you. I got you back. I said that you were stupid. I didn't
Yeah.
say it to you.
Yeah.
I was talking to Shannon before you showed up. I said you were.
Well, you've implied it enough on this show that I don't know how to read, and I actually have a very high reading level.
right.
My problem is my vision. I can't see, but I can sound out words.
You should wear glasses.
I won't.
I know you won't. People have been saying that.
Well,
Your girlfriend's been texting me.
Well, not for that.
Not for
Probably
that,
for an
though.
illicit affair,
Right.
which I will find out about if
Well,
you are, in fact,
we're pretty careful
with Katie Hannigan. If you guys are together, I'm going to be blown away.
It's a cliffhanger.
You did come up to my apartment, and
I
I was
did.
wondering about that, to quote unquote use the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I introduced you to her, and I said, "Do you guys know each other?" And you guys were like, "Not really. We talked one time."
Right. I said not really, but like with my eyes, I was
Winking at her, fingers crossed.
I winked at her a little bit, and then she felt, but she looked very uncomfortable after I winked at her
Yeah,
because I don't really know her
right.
that well, and then I took a monster dump in your bathroom.
Sounds like a good way to end the podcast, guys. For we're an hour 20. You got bonus content, bonus material with a little bit of a personal flair at the end there, which actually wasn't necessary. But thank you so much for joining us. Please continue to like, subscribe, and we're making the show bigger and better than ever. And that's not from an app, Lensa. Maybe we could use Lensa on this podcast to make our breasts bigger and our stomachs skinnier so that people will love us. For Shannon, for Anthony, our special investigator, I'm Mike Vecchione. We'll see you guys next week.